Welcome to the hand wrap section of Adrenaline Boxing's 101 class. This is a short and condensed version of the actual hands-on class, so I recommend you making that one if you can. If you can't, this is a great review and it's a great class overall, just to kind of teach you how to put on these hand wraps. What we're working with is a standard 180-inch hand wrap, Mexican style hand wrap, so it's a little bit thinner and a little more elastic than the classic weave. But this is what you're going to do. You're going to get it rolled up initially in your kit. So go ahead and just throw that out. This is probably going to be the easiest way that you can do it. You can roll it up in reverse to put it on your hands. It's a little bit difficult to handle for one person, but if you are getting help with it, a lot of times that helps us out if you've got it rolled backwards and we can just spin it around your hand and wrap it for you. But otherwise, throw that out. Your hand wrap will come with one end that says this side down. This is the end that we're going to start with. It's got a loop on it for your thumb. So you're going to go ahead and loop that around your thumb, and you're going to pull it across the top of your hand. Alright, so here we go with the hand wrap, and you looped it around that thumb, this side down, okay, across the top of your hand, keeping your hand nice and flat, your wrist locked, fingers slightly spread apart. You're going to bring it across the top of your hand. Now I'm going to give you the basic for the average size hand as far as how many times we go around the hand. When I do it, I'll say like 2 to 3 wraps. Now again, that's for the average hand. Sometimes you may need to go 4 times, sometimes 1 to 2 wraps if you've got a really large hand. Okay, so we're going to start out with the wrist wrap. We're going to go around there again 2 to 3 times around it. You're going to try and stagger that wrap just a little bit so that you're not going around exactly the same place each time. Kind of stagger it just a little bit towards the front. Okay, then on the 4th one, we're going to go ahead and come up towards the top, towards our knuckles, across the back side of our hand. Then we're going to go 2 to 3 times around the knuckles. Now there again, a very large hand, maybe 1 to 2. Smaller hand, 3 to 4. For my hand, I'm going 3. And on the 4th one, we're going to go ahead and go back towards the wrist, kind of in that same little diagonal that you came up with. Okay, so we went wrist, knuckles, now the thumb. We're always going to come from the back side of the thumb, wrap around, come back underneath the hand, back to where you started on this side. Now you're going to bring it up. There should be a little triangle above your thumb right in this position right here. You're going to cover that up with the next wrap to the back side of the thumb. Okay, both wraps are starting on the back side and pulling forward. Now this one's going to come around the thumb and across the hand. So it's basically just the exact same thing done in opposite directions. First one comes over and under. Second one comes under and over. Alright, so we started with the wrist, and we did the knuckles, thumb, and we're going to finish with the fingers using our thumb. So you're going to pull it across on the back side of your thumb, and you're going to begin with your outside 2 fingers. Okay, and you're just going to pull that through, and you're going to do 1 tie-off wrap around your wrist. Again, these tie-off wraps, we're going to do 1 between each finger. Go ahead and wrap it off, but then stagger that at the wrist so that it's not exactly in the same spot each time, so that you don't get that bunched up. Alright, middle and ring finger, then finally over to the pointer and middle finger. And you're going to tie that last one off again, and then you're just going to finish with a crisscross pattern across the top of the hand, between the thumb and the finger, and then finishing up on the wrist. Okay? Now sometimes that wrist will loosen up if you finish up like that. Ideally, you'll just have to adjust your numbers of wraps, but ideally you would actually have it finishing more in a crisscross pattern, where it would come around and actually latch on so that it's coming across, and that'll hold it a little bit tighter. Kind of hard to see in the video, but that's kind of the gist of it. Alright, but it's perfectly fine to go ahead and finish up on the wrist. It's just every once in a while. There again, stagger that just a little bit. Every once in a while you have to give it a little twist to tighten it up. Okay, that's the basic hand wrap. Again, we go wrist, knuckles, thumb, fingers. So start with the wrist, next do the knuckles, third do the thumb, finally do the fingers. Alright, if that helps you remember.
Just real quickly one more time, and I'll run you through it. Around the wrist, 2 to 3 times. Up across the knuckles, 2 to 3 times. Back down and over, you're going to come back side of the thumb, round and under. Opposite direction, back side of the thumb, under and over. Then you're going to start with the fingers. Wrap, finger, crisscross, over the hand, back and forth, finishing up on the wrist. And there you have it. Basic standard wrist wrap. There's a number of different wraps that you can do. Let's start with this one. If you need more cushion on the knuckles, we can talk about that maybe in class or just ask me about it. Or if you need more on the wrist, I mean, we can deal with those issues then. This is a nice good one. Gives good support for the hand, keeps the alignment in, protects the thumb and the wrist.
Adrenaline boxing!